Most bug out bags you see online cost hundreds of dollars, but what if you only had $100 to make one? Today we head to Sportsman's warehouse and to Walmart to see if I can put together a real-life survival bug out bag that I would trust in an emergency situation while keeping our budget under $100.
All right, we're about to walk out the door to start this challenge. We're gonna start at the Sportsman's warehouse. They close at 8. It is almost 7:30 now, so we gotta do that quick. And then whatever we can't get there, whatever we can't find, we're gonna go to Walmart down the road and see if we can get the rest of the gear we need. So I'm gonna head out. I will see you guys in a minute. So the first thing is a bag for sure. We're in the backpack aisle. I've been looking at the different bags here a little bit, and they're all kind of out of the budget currently. The only thing is, I saw these little stuff sack ones that are $8.99. That might do it, or even the one up here is $7.99. So those are potentials. Oh, there's a $6.99 one. That might be a little small though. I mean, it is just a stuff sack. Well, my issue with that is there's no straps. You can't really wear it, which isn't a requirement, but I think you should be able to wear it. And then 2, that it's not waterproof. So I think we're gonna move on from the bag for now and look at other items. So you definitely need a flashlight. We got a bunch of them here. I don't know much about this company, but these are kind of the only ones in our price range for this. Just looking around to see if we have any other options, and I think this might kind of be it. Unless there's a cheap headlamp. But I like being able to hold it. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with this one. $11.99 for this. I think a flashlight's an absolute essential. So I think the easiest thing to do and the cheapest is this emergency blanket for $6.99, so $7. The next thing, which is also right here, is something to start fire. So I think it's important to have 2 ways to start fire in any good survival bag. So I'm gonna go with a magnesium fire starter, also for $7. I've used these a ton. They work fine. And then I'm gonna get a lighter, which they might have at the beginning. The next thing, also right here, it's like this aisle was made for this challenge, is a first aid kit of some kind. So here's all the options for first aid kits. I'm not really seeing one super in our budget though. What do these do? They're both $14.99. What do they have? So this guy has, oh, it's labeled a survival kit. Let's take a look at this thing. What does it have? It has water resistant case, a carabiner, flashlight, AAA batteries, candle, fire starter, emergency whistle, bandages. Oh, that's actually a steal. Okay, so we can put this back. This was the original light I had for $11.99, so we're gonna put that back. This thing is a freaking steal. Okay, I still think that's not really enough first aid, so maybe we get, I mean, that's 15. I mean, that might be one of the things that we look at Walmart for something cheap. Yeah, I'm gonna say we look at Walmart for something cheap, but that is a freaking find. The next thing is some more cold weather stuff here. Heat stuff. A bivy tool, duct tape, survival blanket. Emergency. No, we're gonna stick with what we have. I know it's kind of bare bones, but we're on a budget here. The next thing is obviously the bag. You know, the thing that makes a bug out bag a bag. I was looking in this aisle earlier, and it does not look like we have a ton of options in our price range, but I did find something else over this way. We're completely skipping the sleeping bag, unfortunately. I'd love to have one in this, but it is just not going to happen at our price range. Alright. So over this way is these dry bags. These we could definitely make happen. We have waterproof dry bags with a strap. This one up here, 20 liter, $14.99. I think that's a no-brainer. I'm gonna grab that guy. What do we go for? $5 more, we go to 30. I think, yeah, let's do it. I just want to make sure we have plenty of room because we're going to get a tarp and stuff too. So 30 liter transparent dry bag, 20 bucks. Okay. We're off to a good start, I think. Now, we need tarp. We have a bunch of tarps here. This is the cheapest one, but I don't think this one is. What is the size on this one? 5x7? That's just not enough. So I think we're going to go with a $9 one. It's an 8x10. Okay. We're going to put this flashlight back because we have one in our survival kit. What else do we need? We need something to purify water. So I'm thinking I have an idea for that one. But I do think it's also important to have something to eat in, so let's check the cooking section. Okay, we're in the cooking section. So I would really like, as much as we're going to be very limited on creature comforts in this bag, I would really, really like to have something metal that we can heat up water or cook in. I have this at home and I love this thing, but I think that 35 bucks is a little out of the budget for this challenge. Cast iron's heavy to put into a survival bag. This might be, oh well, we have these. That's not super heavy. You could easily heat up water cooking that thing. 15 bucks. That might be the move. These other ones, these are out of budget, and this is like, this handle would be so awkward to have in the, this thing has a lid. That might be the move, honestly. We're doing it. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We have the bag itself, waterproof. This looks nice. This survival kit, which was huge. That was a ton of value for, it was like 14 bucks or 15 bucks or something. Fire starter, the other fire starters in here. An emergency blanket, a tarp, something to heat up water and cook in. So that's one way to purify water. I do want a second way, but I have an idea for that. What else do we need? A knife. A knife is huge. That also I think is probably going to end up being a Walmart purchase, but we're off to a really good start. And this has a multi-tool, honestly. I want to take a look at that multi-tool and see, you know, that has a knife in it. I don't know that I want that to be the only knife, but maybe that'll work. And then also get like a saw, something that we can actually cut wood with, like a machete saw combo or something. So I think this might be, I'm going to do a quick walk around the store, but I think this might be our haul for Sportsman's, and then we're going to go finish up at Walmart. Okay, we didn't end up getting anything else. We're heading to Walmart now to finish up what's in this bag. The total there came out to $71. It was like 70 and 64 cents or something, but like $71, we'll call it. As far as the second source to purify water, I do have something at home that I'll show you in a minute that is going to bring that total up to $81. So essentially at Walmart, to finish up this challenge, we have $19. I feel like I got most of what we need in this challenge, so I'm feeling good about only having $19 going into Walmart. We'll see when it all comes together. So it's definitely a lot more confident when I was coming into the store than being here now. Our selection is very limited and most of this breaks the budget. I will say I found this thing. It's a 21-piece camping survival kit. $30. That's like well under a lot of, I mean, I think all the things that we, like I said, they were 71 from Sportsman's, and it was a lot of the same things. My hesitation about this, though, is that some of this stuff just, you know, Ozark Trail isn't known for making super high quality items, and in a pinch maybe these would work, but my hesitation is that, you know, if these things broke, you're left with nothing. So I don't know, maybe at some point we'll give that a try. We'll see if we can do a $50 kit maybe. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we have this folding saw for $11.47. So let's call it 12. That would leave us with $7. If we call the knife that we have in the kit good, that $7 can really go towards getting something to bring out with us as far as calories. So we have water, we have the tarp. I think we have everything we need, like absolute necessity. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We got the last of what we're gonna get from Walmart. I think I came in like maybe $1 or so under budget. Not that we could do very much with that, but as you'll see when we kind of put this kit together and go over it, there's some things you can get for $1. It's not impossible. So I am going to probably get some dinner, and then I'm going to head back to the house, and we're going to go over everything that I got between the two stores, things that I thought of as I was walking through, what I might have changed, just a bunch of stuff. Talk soon. We had an absolute catastrophe. I don't know if you can see yeah, you can definitely see that. The liquid all over everything. My seat was soaked. A lot of this stuff got wet. I bought 2 of these Red Bulls I've really been enjoying and put them in the bag after my last purchase was made, and one of them exploded and went everywhere. So I'm gonna get this stuff dried off, and then we'll do the rest of the video. We have the tarp that you guys saw. We got these as the last thing at Walmart. These were $1 a piece. I'm not huge into packing food in a survival kit, but I think it doesn't hurt to have a little and something that's decently light. These are 2 pounds, not that heavy, about 1,600 calories a piece, and they were dirt cheap. They go well with the pot that we bought, this metal of some kind, great for heating up water. We have
fire starter. We have the survival kit that we will get into. Emergency blanket, huge. Folding saw. This feels like a really sturdy folding saw. It is Ozark Trail. I'll leave it at that. Lost Creek, this 30-liter waterproof bag. Huge. That's what makes this whole thing, really. And then I also got these at Walmart towards the end. This was, I don't know, a couple of dollars for 700 yards of 10-pound line, which is great for catching, I mean, tons of fish, honestly. And these were 97 cents a piece. So again, I don't like carrying food, but I don't hate the ability to catch food. So we just got 2 different 8-packs, some size 6s and some size 2, both bait holder hooks. These and a stick, I think you could catch some fish with. Dig up some worms or bugs. Like, this was what I was talking about when I said I had another water purification method. I will post above this, but I got these on sale, about $10 a piece for the life straws. And then these 2, like 550 cord survival bracelets I had lying around. I'm putting them in this kit. If you feel like that's cheating, get over it. You can get these at literally any military recruiting office for free. Walk in and ask the recruiters for these. All right, I think that is pretty much as I'm gonna break down this stuff. I mean, some of this stuff, like, there's no need to take these out of the package. You know, you don't want to take this out, get wet or damaged. You certainly don't want to take this out until you need it. I am gonna get into this survival kit a little bit though. Let's see what we got going on in here. The only thing I hate about these things is they're never possible to repack as neatly as they came out. Flashlight is huge. I was looking at a flashlight at Sportsman's until I saw this. I don't know that this is going to be very bright, but it's better than just not having a flashlight. So let's... Okay. Let's give this a try. I just kind of want to see how bright this is. Inside with lights on and my light for filming and everything, it's not going to do it justice. But yeah, like, that's not super bright at all. But it's a light. And at nighttime and pitch black, that would get the job done. So I'm going to take the battery out of that so we don't waste any. Okay, the next thing, we have this. This is just for sparks. If you can really see that. It's just a little, it's like the end of a lighter. It's just for sparks. We have a little candle. That's cool. Those are actually pretty useful. Most of this kit is geared around fire. I don't know what this little gadget is. It kind of looks like a whistle. I don't think there's a whistle in here. Yeah, a whistle. Okay, it's just a funny looking whistle. Whistles are important. I mean, they're. I think a lot of videos that I've seen about, like, making the ultimate survival kit, they leave whistles out, but I think whistles are important. Way easier to use a whistle than yell when looking for help. So, I mean, it's a good thing to
And then some Band-Aids. Also, there's paper that's like warning, like don't eat plastic and stuff. If you have anything like this in your survival kit, leave it in. Especially in this, where this is watertight. That's going to be good for starting fires later, so leave it in. Now, let's look at this guy. I got a little pair of pliers. These are, I mean, these will go good with the fishing stuff, honestly. Those could be pretty useful. I know a million situations where one might need a pair of pliers. A little knife. I was really hoping that the knife was going to be bigger than that, but that's whatever. We have a little knife. A little screwdriver, which I don't think we'll need. Bottle opener, we certainly shouldn't need that. Maybe, I don't know. If you find a can of something somewhere. Another little saw. Another screwdriver, another can opener. I don't know why there's two can openers. And a little file. I don't think really other than the knife and maybe the saw we'll use much on here. The pliers, obviously. That file, maybe. I mean, you might be able to file down the teeth on the other saw and keep it sharp. I don't know. But anyways, I mean, I feel like the value in this thing as a survival kit was worth the $15. I'll say that. Now we just got to get this thing repacked. I'm already feeling miserably. There's no way that's enough room to... Okay, this is a shoe. Let's try like that. And like this maybe. And then this. And then... Actually, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna put the candle in last. We're gonna put this guy in first. And put this guy in right after that. And put this guy in after that. And we're gonna cram the whistle and battery in there. And we're gonna put the candle in. And... Look at that. We got it done. Back in. So yeah, now I guess we're gonna pack this thing up and see what our $100 bug out bag, survival bag looks like all assembled. So we'll start with the bag. We'll need the strap in a minute. So you're gonna kind of want, we're gonna open this up really well. This isn't a traditional backpack, but it is gonna, so the strap is over here. So this is gonna kind of be the back area. So that's where we're gonna wanna put the tarp. You'd like that to kind of rest against your back as best you can. Actually, if we fold it in half, this could be a good bottom for this thing. Let's put this in like this. Good start. And then we want to be able to get a lot of air in this. The float bags, that's how they work, is when you close them, you make it airtight, you lock it, and if you have this bubble of air, it keeps this thing floating if you needed to. So we want to save space. So in an effort to save space, you can do things like put stuff in here and then close it. That's a really good space saver. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pack a lot of this stuff into our cookware. This is a time too where, like, I know I said don't do this earlier, but if you can remove things from the wrappers, that it might be useful just to save space. But again, I would like warn against anything that you don't want to get wet or just otherwise broken. Don't unwrap. I'm pretty happy with that. We fit pretty much most of the tools right in there. I wonder though, I think I'm also gonna take this handle off and try to get the handle in here. My thought behind that is, like, these ends are not super sharp, but they're sharp enough that I don't want them puncturing anything. The other thing we could do is put it in between the tarp. The tarp is thick, and I don't see this puncturing the tarp. So I'm gonna kind of put that between the 2 layers of the tarp. That I also don't think it's going to puncture the bag, but I just want to be sure. I'm going to do the same thing with this actually. There is a lock on this, so like it's not coming apart, but I just don't want anything to happen where these teeth on the saw blade puncture the bag. So we're going to put that in between the tarp too. And then we'll slide this bad Larry in. And then rice, a thing of rice, and on top, I don't want this getting crushed under anything, our survival straw, the life straw. I love these things. Okay. Now, we have to, you want to keep air in this, you don't want to make this, you don't want to get all the air out, so kind of keep it tight while you're rolling it down. There we go. So that bubble of air is going to keep this thing afloat. It feels like there's plenty in there, and that's not super heavy. I mean, that's 2 pounds of rice, a couple pounds with other things. I think that's plenty of air to keep this thing floating. And then, last but not least, we have this strap. This is a big reason I went with this one and not the other one, is the ability to strap it like that. And then I might have to loosen the strap, but no, it fit. I would still loosen it before I ever wore it like this. But now we have, you know, we can wear that. And again, it looks a little ridiculous. I would loosen this, but now this is something on our back and we can keep our hands free and still carry this. It just, the ability to have your hands free and work and move and do other things, so useful. So yeah, that is. Let me take this thing off. So there we have it. Our finished $100 challenge bug out bag. Pretty happy with the way that turned out. Obviously, if money was no problem, I would have done a lot of things different. I would have gotten a different bag. I would have probably gotten a more like traditional backpack style bag and gotten some liners and like waterproof the inside. I definitely would have put a little bit of more emphasis into the ability to get food, and maybe put some more like protein bars and things that'll last a long time in there that are pretty lightweight. Water, I'm pretty happy with the water situation. I might have also thrown in, with a bigger budget, some like iodine tablets, and you know, some iodine tablets and things like that. It's always better to just to have extra. You just want to be careful not to add too much weight to your bag, because that becomes a whole nother set of issues. But honestly, I don't think that the average person should not have so much in the survival bag that weight is even really a factor. I would have gotten a higher quality saw. I 100% would have done a hatchet or axe of some kind to go with it. Definitely a higher quality Gerber or multi-tool. The one in that survival kit, will it work? Yes. Is it going to be good for things like cutting fishing line, and if I need to bend a hook back or something, it'll work, but I would have gotten a much higher quality Gerber with a bigger budget. I would have gotten that pot set that I think I recorded while we were in Sportsman's. I have one here. Actually, for the sake of it, let me show you what it looks like. This is the one that we saw earlier. Okay, so this is the one that I was looking at in the store earlier, and if it hadn't broken the budget, I would 100% add this over the one that we got. Excuse it, this one's a little dirty. It is seeing some heavy use. But it's a little tea kettle pot, essentially. Great for heating water, super thin, super lightweight. I've used this to heat water a ton of times. It works so quickly. And then we have a bowl. It's just, little creature comforts in survival situations matter, and the ability to like eat out of a bowl, and not only have a bowl, but also have this little survival spork with it. I mean, that's huge. Just like this alone, the difference that this could make in your happiness and attitude while surviving is huge. And then there's also this sleeved bowl that's meant for like hot, beverage. If you brought coffee or something, I don't know. I've used it for coffee. I've used it for hot chocolate. I've used it for tea. So I think this kit would be the preference. Though I don't think there's anything wrong with the other one we got, but this would certainly be the preference if, the budget allowed. I also like that it has this the amount of times that while I've been out, I've kept this in the bag just like this, and then used this to hold, it zips up, so it's just a little baggie. Use it to hold iodine tablets or other water purification, or just little things that I don't want floating all around in my backpack. So that's definitely something I would have done different. I said the knife, better saw, hatchet. And then last, but certainly not least, I'm sure there's other things that will come up, but actually two additional things that I would have done different. When I think survival, I think, a bag like this, a bug out bag, is you are removing yourself from this place for whatever, right? Whether that's work, your house, your friend's house, it doesn't matter. You have to leave the area you're in. Is that because of a natural disaster, a big fire, some type of attack? I think that your bag should kind of prepare you for all of it. And though I think typically the response is just get out of Dodge, avoid people, avoid conflict, I always, in my bags, would bring some type of firearm. Obviously, this is way out of the budget, but either on my person or in the bag, always have some type of firearm. This has been my everyday carry for a while now. This is a SIG 365X macro. It's a pretty compact handgun. It's great. Put a tons of rounds through it. It's just a great handgun. I think there's a spot for some type of firearm in every survival bag. So that's definitely something. Other things that I would bring are more first aid. I mean, this bag pretty much had zero. Those Band-Aids aren't going to do anything other than a little cut. Band-Aids they have their place for boo-boos, I guess. But Band-Aids are kind of useless. Again, if it wasn't breaking budget, I would have done way more first aid. I'll show you kind of another example. So this is my belt that I have to wear in my shooting competitions. This first aid kit is not even as complete as I would like a first aid kit to be, but it is way more complete than what we have here. You'll see right on the top, the tourniquet. Tourniquets are huge. I can't stress enough how important a tourniquet is. And then if we get in here, pull this sleeve out. It's a little bit annoying to put back together, but I will later. So you just see when you open this up, there's just some basic things. There's a bunch of gauze for packing wounds, for wrapping. Gauze super important. There's trauma shears. Trauma shears are important. They're not, super high on my list. And then just gloves. There's a little finger splint behind the gauze. And I think this last package is just another bandage of sorts. But yeah, that would for sure make an appearance if we had more money for this challenge. But just in general, I think I should have allocated a little bit more funds to first aid. And I think, looking back, if I had done this challenge differently, I would have done a lot more at Walmart. Sportsman's is great. I love Sportsman's. They have a ton of gear, but I found a lot of things that we bought at Sportsman's at Walmart for cheaper. Other thing that I might advise is just always have water with you. It's great to have
the ability to purify water, but I think it's also important to have water just readily available. So like a Nalgene or a bigger bottle, I think very important. But that's pretty much, I mean, my critiques of this. For $100, it was great. I don't have many complaints for it. It was a $100 challenge. I think for what it's worth, this is $100 worth of survival gear. At some point, I might test it out, see how long, that this is like reasonable to go with. But I think that this is a great start, and this is more than a lot of people have. And I have no problems with this bag. Like I said, just maybe some more first aid would kind of round off this bag as like a very good beginner bug out bag under $100. Recap of what I spent: $70.94, $17.93, $10. I mean, we came in with like $1 or $2 to spare. I'll put the exact total on the screen. But yeah, I think we can call this one a mission accomplished. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. Let me know what you guys think, what you would have done different, what you thought was a good idea. And if you'd like to see more of this stuff moving forward.